welcome to day 12. Question for you. What do Harry Potter, the Magic School Bus, and Clifford the Big Red Dog have in common? Scholastic Book Club. Remember all those book fairs? Scholastic is the biggest book company for children and young adult books in the world. And the owner, Mr. Richard Robinson, died in 2021. He had inherited the behemoth from his father, and he had two sons, Ben and Reese. Well, do you think he left the company to his sons as his father had done to him? No. He had left the company in his will to a woman he had an affair with who worked at the company. Now, Mr. Robinson had always had his affairs and his girlfriends from the company. It was definitely before Me Too. He met his first wife at the company. He started dating his second wife, his to become second wife, while he was still married to his first wife. And he started dating this Iola Luchis while he was married to his second wife, the second wife is the mother of his two sons. Years passed. In 2018, he was no longer dating Iola Luchis. Then he hadn't a new girlfriend, even though he was in his 70s and early 80s. And then in June of 2021, he was walking with his son and his ex-wife, Helen, who he was still very friendly with, when he suffered a stroke and passed away. When his will was read, the great shock was that he had not left the company to his sons, but to this lady, Iola Luchis, who was his chief strategist, who did still work at the company, but that he had not been dating since 2018. So the big question at the time was, what is going to happen? Are the family going to sue? Is she going to be able to keep the company? Are they going to be able to sue successfully? The strange thing is, we don't know what happened because no lawsuit has been filed. So here we are a year and a half after Mr. Robinson died, and if you go to Scholastic website, Iola Luchis is still the CEO, chief strategist, and largest shareholder. So a couple of things could have happened. In Canada, where the company is based, there is powerful deference given to a testator's intent. It is not easy at all to set aside a will, and certainly not the adults' will, and let's face it, our children are usually the object of our bounty. But in Canada, it's much harder to contest a will than it is in the US. And certainly adult children saying our father had the moral obligation to give the company to us is not going to cut it. So maybe the strength of Canada's law when it comes to a testator's intent meant that the children never sued, or maybe they got a really terrific lawyer who sat down with Iola Luchis, who inherited the company, and maybe together they all worked out a settlement, an agreement, without it all having to be aired in public. Who knows? Even though our children are often the object of our bounty, we don't have to leave our estate to them unless they are minor or dependent adults. So that's an interesting one, most interesting of all, because we couldn't find a lawsuit and we were so sure that one would have ensued. So they've kept it a secret from us, and right now that woman who apparently inherited the company is still at the helm. So lawsuits don't always work, and testators' intentions are powerful. Okay, that's it for tonight. See you tomorrow. Thanks and bye.